God introduces himself to Avram, and in the process shares with us some important principles in terms of how to have a healthy relationship with the Almighty and live an even more joyful life. The Torah says, Vayomer Hashem el Avram, God spoke to Avram, Lech Lecha, go for yourself. From your land, from your birthplace, and from the house of your father, to a land which I will show you. God is testing Avram. He's 75 years old, and he's telling him, pick up and leave. Leave your father's house. Leave everything you're familiar with. Leave the values you grew up with and start your life anew. But even before you go, you have to know why you're going. And what did the Torah just tell us? Lech Lecha, go for yourself. The Almighty's turning to Avram, and he's saying, I'm God. I'm infinite. I created the world. There's nothing you can do for me. I'm going to give you a whole bunch of commandments. In the end, there will be 613 commandments for the Jewish people in the Torah, within thousands of customs. And Avram has to know that when you do them, don't do them for God, do them for you. And many of us fall into that trap. Sometimes a person stops and says, I got to do something for God. Depends why you're doing it. If you're doing it out of guilt, that's no good. If you're doing it out of gratitude, that's beautiful. It is a beautiful thing to say, the Almighty has blessed me so much in my life that, yes, I've got to give charity and help others. Yes, I have to keep the laws, say blessings, I have to pray, keep Shabbat. That is an exalted existence. That's living with gratitude. But that's still not doing it for God. That's doing it because it makes you a good person. We have to know that when we do the commandments, we do them for us. We don't do it for God. When you're sitting at the dinner table with your children, you say please, say thank you, use a fork and a knife. The truth is, you don't need your children to say please and thank you to you. And while it is more pleasant to sit there with your children and have them eat with proper manners as opposed to taking the food with their hands and shoving it in their face, while it's more pleasant to be at the dinner table like that, you're not doing it for you, you're doing it for them. You don't want your children to grow up and be animals. You want your children to say please and thank you and know how to behave in public for them so that their life will be better. The Torah continues, I will make you a great nation, meaning Avram, if you leave, you're going to have lots of descendants. And I will bless you. You're going to have a lot of money. And your name will be great. In other words, Avram, you will have fame. People will know who you are and what you stand for. And you'll be a blessing. People will feel blessed by having a relationship with you. These are great. Beautiful blessings for listening to God's command. So what happens? Well, Avram picks up, he goes, he makes it to the land of Canaan, and instead of basking in all of God's blessings, there's a famine in the land. And Avram is forced to go down to Egypt, and his wife Sarah is abducted by the Pharaoh of Egypt. Now, in the end, everything turns out okay. But if you were Avram, you'd be scratching your head, saying, hey God, fine, I'm doing it for me. You told me to go, I went, I was supposed to get all these blessings, and these blessings did not come so quickly. What's going on? So we have to realize that this is Avraham's test, and it's our lesson for living a great life. See, the test is, we all know we should do the right thing, and we all know when we do the right thing, we cannot lose. But if we expect the blessing to come on the heels of doing the mitzvah, of doing the right thing, then we will live a life filled with disappointment. Because a lot of times the Almighty makes us wait for it. And by making us wait, by delaying the blessing, it helps us develop a taste for doing the right thing because it's the right thing. It helps us develop a faith in God saying, I know you will reward me for doing the right thing. And when I define myself as someone who does the right thing just because it's right, and when I am a person of faith, I live a much happier life. I am much more satisfied. So whereas we begin by doing the mitzvah for our own benefit, we do it not for God, but we do it for us, and we're expecting the reward, even though sometimes the reward is delayed, it doesn't bother us so much because we've developed an appetite and a taste for doing the right thing because it's the right thing. So therefore we become people who embrace mitzvahs and embrace doing the right thing. That leads to becoming a human being with great self-respect and actually living a very, very happy life. I am Rabbi Yitzwyne with the Young Israel Aish of Las Vegas.